altar, she supposed, and on it was Hector.
Is the throne empty? Is the king dead? The empire unpossessed?
Off with his head.
You got me going in circles.
All right, let's get right into it. We got our crew here today. John, who do we got?
Well, we got always on the mic, Danny Miranda.
What's up? What's up?
Then
Good
we
to
got-
be back.
That's right, Stevie Miranda on the 3-track.
How's it going, guys?
Direct descendants of Carmen Miranda, the Del Monte fruit lady.
Chicka boom boom, chicka boom boom.
We got the Irish Mexican and the Mexican Mexican.
Yep.
Top of the morning, senor. Then we got John on the mic. That's me, Johnny Boy, Johnny Peace. And the creator, our Lord and Savior,
10-4.
Dave Pursley.
Let's get right into it. We're going to go into first. Danny was going to tell us about the Bounties. What's up with the Bounties? We're going to talk about Roger Stone eventually too, and Acosta and Barr, but we're starting off with the Bounties. What's going on?
So apparently, one of the top guys at the Pentagon came forward and testified that he did know about the bounty that the Russians were supposedly putting on American soldiers through way of the Taliban leaders. He was basically saying, Trump says it's a hoax, but I'm here to claim that, yes, I was briefed on it. There were intelligence reports on it. They can't verify if for sure any of those bounties were actually followed through or paid out, but they can verify that there are intelligence reports about it.
Is there any precedent for this? Has this happened before in the past, and how have the presidents dealt with it? Because I don't know what the precedent is for the president.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, prior to Trump, the biggest threat was Al-Qaeda. It got kind of muddied and nothing was really done during the Obama presidency,
what's
which kind of
really-
raced through to the ISIS.
What's in it for Putin to put bounties on American soldiers when he's trying to kind of be buddy with? Is he?
They just want to mess
Is he
with
just flexing?
Yeah, no, they want to mess with our country as much as they can,
Just chaos, agents of chaos.
but completely deny it. Now,
embarrass.
certain presidents would not stand for that, but so far nothing's ever been done or called out on it or no.
And Trump's never going to admit to it.
Do you think it was
only maybe roundaboutly?
Do you think it was an idle threat?
I think they're our biggest enemy, but nobody wants to go to war with each other because it would just be too destructive with nuclear arms that we
What
both
makes
have.
us enemies?
We've always been. Because
So
they're communists.
that's it?
Because
It's
they're
just because-
the second they went communist and the second we didn't want to be communists, anyone who was communist was our enemy.
So, am I wrong on this? But didn't Iran have bounties as well? But we're used to that from Iran.
To be honest, I wouldn't trust anybody. I mean, everybody doesn't like us.
I don't know. I think everybody
We
likes
like us.
Well, I mean, yeah, we love
like
us.
us, for sure.
No. Some people love us.
They
don't get me
love
wrong.
Hollywood.
Yeah, they love Hollywood. They love our entertainment. They love our
We
music.
love your movies. Look at your movies.
Beach Boys #1.
Beach Boys #1. Nikolai.
Ukraine
right?
favorite. Yeah, they like that aspect out there. That's always a big thing. But
I
I wonder what the soldiers think of this.
I don't know. Some people are, no matter
Well,
what.
we have two veterans. Let's say you guys were in and you were there and you heard about it. Steve, what would you think? If you
you
heard
knew
there
it
was
was true.
bounties and then you heard the president really say anything about it, what would you think? Or would you not know what to think?
We would think probably not bounties on the cooks.
Yeah, because they were both military
We were
cooks.
cooks.
I would hope not.
Yeah,
Well, wait. You went to Haiti, right,
they
Steve?
cook better.
Right.
And John went to Cuba.
Cuba. Yeah.
There's still some scary stuff you guys ran into out there. Like,
I mean, Cuba's a
Didn't you almost-
communist country.
yeah, didn't you get lost in a minefield at one point?
No, we drive through one when
Yeah.
we went to the dump.
Yeah.
Not to take a dump. You go to the dump, you drive through a minefield.
Yeah.
On both sides, so every once in a while you see a deer blow up or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
Do you think most of the military is for or against Trump? Probably for, right?
I don't know. That's hard to say. I'm so
Because isn't the
detached.
military
I don't
usually
know.
for the president?
Sort
Sorta. No,
What I-
maybe
what I
not.
heard-
I'm speculating. I don't know.
You
This
know-
isn't coming from a place of knowledge. From
I'll
me.
tell you one thing. I met somebody one time, a long time ago, and I was having dinner at this person's house, and it was during the time that Bush was running for president. And I think it was his re-election. We were having dinner, and I was just meeting this person for the first time. It was one of those times, I forgot who he was running against. Kerry, maybe? Was it Kerry he was running against?
You talking about Bush Jr. or Senior?
Junior. No, not Kerry. I forgot who he was running against, but anyways.
W.
Yeah, it was one of those big. I think it was Gore. It was one of those where remember the recount. So it was like a big night. So I asked him. I'm like, well, who you going for? I don't make judgments. I don't care. And he's like, well, I'm gonna go for Bush, and I'll tell you why. He goes, because we're in a war, and when I was in the military, he remembers the transference of Bush Senior to Clinton, And he says, when you're in a war, you don't want the president to change.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been in the military, so
Yeah.
I don't know. So that
We've
Trump,
never changed the president in the middle of a war.
I mean, technically we are still in a war. I think a lot of Americans forget that. We're on our phones. We're just goofing off. Me myself included. But I mean, we've been in the longest war we've ever been in.
It's like a
We have,
diet
but he's
war.
been trying to pull out. Like
He's
that's,
been trying to, yeah.
So that's why we don't feel like
I mean,
it.
Obama was trying to pull out. Trump's trying to pull out. But,
Everybody's trying to pull it.
Everybody.
but at the same time, you got this
It's good to
report
pull
about
out.
bounties.
It's the best form of contraception.
Yeah, yes.
Contraceptive?
Contraceptive measures. Isn't that what you say in the military?
The only military experience I ever had was the first time I went paintballing with John over here, and he was teaching me about 3-second rushes and suppression fire. He's like, "Here's what we're gonna do," because
Suppressive
there was these
fire.
2 giant Marines in there, and they had their own gear and their own BDU. This is like the '90s, I think it was.
Yeah.
The first time we've ever gone paintballing.
98?
So instantly, I was intimidated. I'm like, "These guys are gonna mow over us." And
Dang,
we
got
got
'em,
him
bro.
every time.
Got
Every
'em.
time.
You
Yeah.
can put them in a pattern.
Yeah.
You fire, they duck. They fire, you duck. You fire, stay up.
Yeah.
Because they're coming up.
Yeah.
But you know what I think can be considered a war is the internal conflict that's going on right now. Do we want to change presidents and where Trump is the law and order president during an internal conflict? We know that he's going to try to squash it. Do we want to go to somebody that we think might not squash what's going on? Any of the chaos?
Yo, let's not forget that war is a business, especially for America.
Yeah.
Trump is a businessman. Is he going to be good in a war? Well, he's going to think of the business end of it.
Another that was hilarious was people used to say, "Oh, Trump's most qualified to be president." Everyone else had a body count because they've overseen wars and people and soldiers. And they said Trump doesn't have a body count, and he won't because he doesn't have a body. No, he doesn't have a body count because he hasn't been president. So now he has a coronavirus body count, and however many, whatever happened out in the Middle East so far.
Do you notice that the flu argument's kind of starting to dissipate too? So it's like the flu. No. Because when it was first starting to come around, people were, you know how many people die from the flu each year? Well, now we're really past that number.
Are we?
I know. Well,
Oh, big time.
we
Steve,
the-
are we?
Yeah, I believe we are.
I think
Well,
I think
yeah,
triple. I haven't checked lately.
Well, the
but
funny thing is, people used to say, "Oh, it's X amount a year," and they say, "Oh, and we've only gotten half that." Yeah, in 2 months, we've only gotten half that. That means multiply that.
I think by that first 2 months we were there. I think it was already
yeah,
at
but
50,000.
people-
I think right now it's like at 150,000.
But we're already usually we're 2 weeks behind on what the numbers are because we have to collect it,
Yeah.
add it up, and people think that whatever number they can find on the internet right now is the number in a quick search, but it's not really that. You can pull up an article that's 2 weeks old, and that actually is like 4 weeks behind.
I always find like the Johns Hopkins University is a good place to get like numbers. Their website.
But people share memes, and memes don't update.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like I saw a meme today where it was a tweet from the president of basically saying he named off like 5 countries. Like these countries are all sending their children back to school. I don't know why we can't as a country or something along those lines. I mean, I know he's even threatened to cut funding if people don't start sending their kids to school.
Yeah.
So in the meme, it was someone retweeted but showed their response, or I don't know how it works, but it showed the numbers of new cases. And I think the highest one was like 29. The 5 countries he named, they were like 11, 15, 8, 29. Ours was like 55,000 like a day or something like that. Something insane.
Oh yeah. Sweden didn't lock down, and I believe
did
they're
the herd
paying pretty
immunity.
hard for it right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's
They didn't-
basically what we're
They
doing.
decided to do an experiment. They decided to not. They were the only.
That's a pretty bold
That
experiment.
some of those people in the area were the only ones to not lock down.
So what's
And-
going on with Sweden?
They have the highest deaths, and it's affecting their economy. And,
So it was the wrong move,
it
is
affects
what
your
you're saying.
economy. Yeah, supposedly it's the wrong move. I mean, I haven't talked to them. It's ridiculous. They decided to do an experiment, and it looks like it didn't really. Everybody's getting screwed financially, and
But the crazy thing is our
and
economy
deaths.
is raising fast. It's rising fast. Like,
But America's
it's
not
still
too far behind Sweden, actually.
Like the economy's coming back strong, but it's gonna go back down once everybody has to go back into lockdown. That's the thing.
There's a lot of talk about lockdown. I have a feeling lockdown may not occur.
People are just
Because-
gonna say screw it. The cops aren't gonna enforce it.
If
No,
you can't,
I think it's more along
if
the
you can't
lines-
make the people do it, even if people start protesting, that's just going to spread it around.
They can make the people do it. We'll close our businesses down.
It'd have to be martial law though. That would be a president.
And they have done that.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's
but
not.
Trump's
doing
not going to martial law at this point, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's not gonna do
But
it.
we've already had training on how to work during the pandemic. Because we've had training, they're not going to stop our training. I feel. I could be wrong. We could close down at the end of the month.
Where do you guys feel on the face mask debate? Because the thing
What-
is,
what do you mean?
see, I've heard like 2 schools of thought where, the face mask only work if you use this mask, and you got to replace it all the time, and
Nah,
they
I
don't
don't
even
think
have them in stock. So basically,
Nah.
it's just kind of like a false sense of security. Do you
I
think
you
it's
can
a
put
false sense
women's
of security?
You can put women's panties over your face.
Yeah.
Which I do. You'll be fine because if it stops some spittle from going in your mouth, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, but science is saying that the
Science!
the smallest of particles will go through if it's not
You never made hash?
No.
not
Got
lately.
micron filter?
Hash browns?
I get it. But you're just trying to stop somebody's spit from
I love
going
hash
in your
browns.
mouth. Change your mask.
Yeah, something's better than nothing. There's a percentage on every mask.
But is it? Like they say a dirty
well,
mask is worse.
Yeah, I can
Because
get that.
you're breathing in whenever you cough or whatever. Anything that you get on your mask, you're breathing back in. So I've heard that argument as well.
What's this bullshit about carbon poison?
Oh no, that's not true.
People are saying the masks are killing them.
Yeah.
That's how far
They're
people will
killing
go.
me.
Those are people that don't like to be moderately inconvenienced for
They have to be
5
dramatic.
minutes to a half hour.
Yeah.
But
basically.
official masks have percentages on them of how well they work. I think one of the highest is 96%, but there's percentages on them. And there's ones where they actually, the fibers attract particles around it like a magnet. Those only work certain. You can't wash those. You can't sanitize those.
Yeah.
I do believe something's better than nothing
Yeah, that's it. Because there's
to other people,
there's
maybe
no
not to you.
100%. There's
no 100%, yeah.
But something's better than nothing, and some things are better than other things.
And I think even if you're protesting the lockdown, still fucking wear a mask.
Yeah.
If you're protesting, if you're in Black Lives Matter protesting, wear a mask. I've seen the protests, the ones that I've seen.
People are wearing masks.
Everyone's wearing a mask and everyone's a little separated.
See, like some of the ones that get out of control, though, those masks don't matter. Like if you got people
They still
shooting
have
tear
masks
gas
on.
and
If
bleeding,
it's a
and
mosh pit
fighting,
and
none of
smoke-
that's gonna matter.
and smoke
But if you're
grenades, you're gonna take your
looting-
mask. You might take your mask off, or it might fall off.
Even if you don't, people falling over each other.
If you're
skin
looting-
to skin
yeah,
contact,
if you're
sweat.
looting, you're wearing a mask. Right? Yeah, I mean,
If you're smart,
yeah.
I saw some looters without a mask,
Looter
but
protocol.
You know, what'd be funny is to see like a looter running out of a store with a bunch of masks. Like that's what they looted.
that would be very self-conscious. That would be
eBay.
very conscious of them. But what's scary is if you loot, you're less likely to get attacked by the cops.
Really?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you have a front line of peaceful protest. Well, okay, let's go. Let's break down the
They
protest.
let the looters alone.
Wait, is there any more circuit cities anywhere around here?
Yeah. Just real quick, one article states that the coronavirus death rate in the U.S. is almost 50 times higher than that of the flu. The older people are, the higher the death rate.
I see.
But 50 times higher than the flu, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
elderly, obese, asthmatic, people like that. But the weird thing is about the
shit.
smoking. Right, that's why I'm going back on my diet. Now the weird thing is about the smoking. There's a couple of studies where they're showing that a lot of smokers are kind of. I don't know if we talked about this
Prone.
last time.
They're not prone. They're protected, right?
Yeah, it's almost like their lungs are so damaged.
Okay,
The virus is
I
like,
got
nope,
a
I
theory.
can't get through. I'm
a
done.
theory.
I'm out.
This
I
isn't
got a
worth
theory
it.
on
This
this.
is a bad home.
But these are some studies that are coming out of different countries where they're kind of like experimenting with this a little bit. Where they're like, yeah, a lot of smokers, a lot of the people
Yeah.
that pass aren't smokers.
Because we're putting heat down our throat, which is supposed to kill the virus. Plus, we're putting a protective tar on our lungs.
I think
I
you're
have a
more
double
on target
tar.
with that one.
Yeah, I have a double tar.
I like Norm Macdonald's. This is a healthy person, or this is a smoker's lung. Ew, disgusting. This is a healthy person's lung. Ew, disgusting.
Yeah. Know what I mean? Yeah. You know,
It's funny.
I love Norm.
Oh, I wanted to ask you guys one question though. About in the military, do veterans like presidents who have served in the military better than ones who have not, or does that even matter at all?
I don't know what presidents have served in the military. I
W.
don't think-
Bush.
W.
has-
Bush.
Oh yeah,
Jr.
that's right. Yeah,
He
we
was-
did
he was-
love that.
Yeah, I think he
Bush
even-
Senior and Bush Junior.
Yeah, the-
Bush
both
Senior
the
got
Bushes.
shot out of a plane.
and I think Reagan acted as one time.
Reagan
in a
probably.
movie.
And he acted damn good as one. Now,
Shoot, I'm trying now. I gotta remember.
I don't know. When I was in the military, Clinton was in office, so it was a while
Clinton
ago.
hadn't.
Yeah. Same.
And that was like
same with Stevie.
that was like early into his presidency too, right?
But
That was
Trump has a
that
Well,
was like middle.
You know, it was
middle.
94 to 97, so we got.
Okay, so that was
3
like
years
the
of
that
it.
was like the re-elected after got re-elected.
And I'll tell you what, it was split because I think a lot of I think it was almost like every other group that split.
Yeah.
You know, it depend on what your job was, really.
Or
If you
how
were
your
in a certain-
parents raised you.
Yeah, but I'm saying as cooks, they were more Clinton side.
Really?
And- Yeah, and I think that has to do with this study I was reading about where IQ comes in play. And so when you're a cook, you don't have to be the smartest guy in the Army, you know? So I know that's kind of messed up.
No,
to
you
say.
had your chance, though. You tested super high. I remember doing
Yeah, I
those
tested
tests.
top 2 percentile, and I was in military intelligence, and then I
And then
changed
you
my
wanted to be a
job
cook.
and wanted to be a cook.
You should have done military intelligence. That would have been
dude,
so cool.
Cook was dope.
So-
I like it.
Why save the world when you can make some potatoes?
Dude, all I was thinking about was cooking for the ladies. I
all the
out,
girls
was
that
like,
came? Oh, yeah, all
put
the
some,
military women?
Grill marks on the tri-tip. What up, baby?
Talking about Army ladies.
No, I wasn't talking about them.
Trump has a Purple Heart though, even though he hasn't served.
Oh yeah, that's. He shouldn't have
Does that count?
accepted it.
Literally?
No, he shouldn't.
He
have
does.
accepted
A soldier gave him a Purple Heart while he was on
it.
stage.
He's like, thank
Oh,
you.
really?
And he goes, yeah, and he goes, yeah, this was way easier than the way you got it.
That's what
That-
he said.
yeah,
That's
I
what he
actually
said.
Are
remember
you
when he
saying
said
just
that.
to say that?
No.
No, I remember that. That is
Yeah.
true.
Really?
I
That
totally
is
did.
so-
Totally drew. Dude, there's so many. There's so
Yeah, but
many.
So many things.
Let's
There's
break
that-
down Trump's mentality.
The Boy
I think
Scouts?
he meant it well, but he's just an.
I know.
an id, bro.
It was ad-libbed, and it's kind of funny if you think about it.
It's when he
but
ad-libs.
it's insensitive. But
Yeah.
Trump isn't known for being sensitive.
But the
so-
guy
yeah,
given the
he's
Purple
not
Heart is such a
sensitive.
diehard Trump fan that
Yeah.
he probably laughed at
Well,
it.
it's an
to
awkward
him.
position for someone to give you their Purple Heart, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, and then, see, I can understand sticking by
flattering.
your side or supporting your president, whoever it is. I understand that mentality, but like after so many, just the problem is Biden's the option, or Paris Hilton. I heard Paris Hilton is my.
Paris Hilton.
I
Would you
kid you
vote
not.
for her?
I was wondering if when she was going to pop back up because
Would you
on the
vote
down
for
low.
her?
No, God, no.
I mean, would you vote for
Kanye.
if she
So,
was
so
like
now we have.
Obama?
It's like I told someone this earlier. I said we have a reality show star, spoiled rich kid who was never told no, and then we have Kanye, Paris, and Biden.
And people want the Rock
Those
to
are our
run too,
four
but
choices.
Dude,
the Rock.
who-
And
right?
Honestly, if The Rock ran out of those five choices, I'm gonna go with
dude.
The
He
Rock.
would run some great promos on Kim Jong Un and
Oh, yeah.
Putin.
Do you think The Rock would pull votes away from the right or the left or both?
That'd put us one step closer to idiocracy, though.
You think so?
Yeah. A wrestling star. I love The Rock, but I mean, like, what does he know about
Nothing. Who cares?
foreign relations?
Yeah, come on. Look who he put in there.
There's a
You're
radiation
hard.
leak in Uzbekistan. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Like.
Dude, can you imagine him in a debate? That would be fun.
But the thing is, when he speaks, he's actually like super eloquent. I mean,
yeah, he's
he does better than.
Where are you?
See,
Where are you?
Now, Trump can speak very eloquent when he has a speechwriter and he doesn't go off the cuff. But
Yeah.
I always think about that speech when he was doing the Boy Scouts. Right after he got inaugurated, he did the speech at
He
the
was
Boy
doing
Scouts.
the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, he was doing a speech for the Boy Scouts. There's tons of people there, and he just started getting sidetracked. He started going into like stories about the '80s in New York, and like it's almost like he was going to start talking about orgies at any given point. Everyone's like, "What the hell, dude?" It's like hundreds of thousands of
That's
children.
when your
here.
grandpa's story kind of runs awry.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
but your grandpa's Donald Trump.
everyone's
It's
going,
like, yeah, no, kill it,
no.
kill it. How many times? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
So now a word from our sponsors, who of which none of this would be possible.
Are you planning for the future? Are you sitting at home right now watching one of our commercials at 3 in the morning on a Tuesday? Of course you are. You're an alcoholic piece of shit. But act now, and one of our operators can assist you in exploring the possibility of amusement park ride operators. Yes, here at Cal Weaver's Amusement Park Ride Operator and Carnival Game Assistant, you can learn all the secret ins and outs of the amusement park industry. Work your way up to mascot or corn dog vendor. The sky's the limit at Cal Weaver's School of Roller Coaster and Carnival Ride Operator Assistant. Ask one of our many happy former students who was able to receive work just 3 to 4 months after completing his classes. Yeah, job's all right. I'm working with the Union Brotherhood, local number 428. They're okay. It's a good group of guys. Some good stuff happening. A lot of good single moms out here, and I just keep doing what I'm doing. I just working on my music career, and so Cal Weaver's Amusement Park School of Roller Coaster Ride Operators. We will teach you hand signals, safety protocols, and how to speak so fast that nobody will understand what you're saying.
Excuse me,
We'll even teach you the exit greetings.
folks, please make sure you keep your hands up when you exit and enjoy the rest of your day. Folks in the back.
At Cal Weaver's Amusement Park School of Ride Operators and Carnival Assistant Game Operators, you too can learn all the secrets of the pros. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Our next subject, Roger Stone just got... people aren't saying pardoned. They're using a different word
Hold
for
on. Who is Roger Stone? I don't...
He was a campaign advisor for Trump.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an advisor.
And I think during Robert Mueller's investigations, it was proven that he lied to the FBI. So he got sentenced to prison.
He was covering for Russia, things going on with Russia. I feel like he was a middleman for Trump in Russia.
I like him.
And that's the same way he was using Giuliani as well.
Yeah.
He puts these people between him and jail. And so 6 of them have gone to jail so far, and he's pardoning them one by one.
If you ever wanted to see a character in your life, just YouTube Roger Stone.
For reals, that's a dope name.
It is an awesome name.
Right.
What's it called? A deposition? I wish
Stone
I could
Cold
say that
Roger
word.
Stone.
No relation till Sylvester.
No.
Or Steve Austin.
There are certain times when you'll see him like in interviews or whatever where he just looks like a Batman villain. Like he has the penguin hat and he has this really evil grin and you just wait for him to go, I'll get you next time, Batman. Like that's all you expect him to say.
He's got weird 90s plugs in the front.
Weird hair.
He wears these round
But I don't
glasses.
want to judge somebody by the way they look. Like what's something about him that is weird?
Okay, judge him about the way he talks.
What's good about one thing
he
about
says.
Roger Stone is he's ripped.
Is he?
Why is he ripped? Well, because he's got
so that's a good thing.
Yeah, he's got a tattoo on his back of
that's Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon.
Get the fuck out of here! What do you? Hold on a second. What do you?
It's almost life-size picture of Richard Nixon tattooed realistically. A really well done tattoo.
It's a good tattoo.
For reals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has a
on
tattoo
his freckly
of
back.
He's got
Richard
money.
Nixon on his back.
Yeah, and he's shown it off a bunch of times, and he's
not-
pretty ripped for an old dude.
I'm not a crook.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's crazy. Yeah, he's definitely guilty of anything. If I saw him in a store, I figured he'd have stolen Skittles in his pocket. Like he did
for
something.
sure.
He's just
He
guilty.
did it.
Like this is the kid that would like mess with children when their parents were looking just to mess with them because it would make his day.
Oh my god.
He's also purposefully planted fake stories in the news.
Yeah.
He's been
So he
caught
went
doing
to
that.
jail.
Like whenever you see like an ad like looking for crisis actors, and then you'll see it like in a meme like, oh, look at this. Look, the Democrats must be Soros. That's something like Roger Stone would put in the newspaper. Because anybody could put anything in the newspaper for that, you know? It's not even
He's
expensive.
kind of like a prankster Joker type character.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people in Trump's cabinet, like Bannon and all them, they're almost like they look like Dick Tracy villains.
Oh, yeah.
You got Bannon and Roger
Flat
Stone, Acosta, William
Steven.
Barr,
Costa, yeah.
Manafort looks all fancy. He looks like he
So,
should be wearing a bow tie.
Do you
but-
think the Nixon tattoo was like a lost bet, or is this something this guy he chose this?
There's one story that always makes me laugh about Roger Stone, and I don't know the validity of it, but supposedly it's true.
Okay.
But whenever they'd go to the RNC,
That means it's true. I just want to let you know.
that's been debunked. Now, whenever they go to the RNC conventions, or a few times, he would look for black men to have sex with his wife,
Oh, nice.
and like he would pay them, and they would.
That's been debunked by
But
all
it's
the
been
black
debunked.
men who had sex with his wife. They're like, I
So
didn't
at the
shoot I
RNC,
didn't
it
do
was like 2 guys, and if they weren't in, it was not a good Saturday night for Mrs. Stone.
But it's weird
wreck and
because
shop.
it was like Drain the Swamp. He brings in all his buddies, these like poker buddies,
Of course.
to run the country and his children and his children's, nepotism. And what's really funny too is so Trump has this way of he doesn't mind accusing people of things he actually did. Like he ran on
Deflection.
total
That's the best way
deflection.
to do it.
Biden's son. He's like, all about Biden's son while his kids are all in his cabinet and have security clearance and are running his companies.
Well, the funny thing is, the way he does it, too, is like, oh, we're going to get them. Just wait till we come out with this evidence. You're going to see what they've been up to this whole time. And then, like, 2 months will pass, and it'll be the next thing and the next thing. Like, so far, all I've been able to find, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure Biden's guilty of lots of shit, too, and his son probably.
Oh, yeah,
But
totally.
the only thing I've been able to find, like, personally, is that he got his son a job at a good company making good money when he really wasn't qualified for it.
And
That's
I don't-
everybody in the Trump cabinet.
And I don't-
Betsy DeVos,
yeah.
that's his kids.
And I
that's
don't think it was
everybody.
while he was vice president. I believe it might have been after.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a full conflict of interest there.
He could have been working out deals in the office secretly. I mean, all politicians do that too, And if they can prove it, yeah, fine. But the thing is, he can never prove it. He can never prove his accusations.
Well,
I've never seen him prove any
He
accusations.
didn't actually. I don't think he even wanted. He hasn't been convicted.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that there's anything to convict. He just got his son too good of a job.
Yeah. Like okay, so like Obama was spying on the Trump administration prior to the election, right? So that's the whole dossier. Look, they were spying on. Now, one thing I don't agree with is apparently the IRS was going hard on Republican committees and stuff like that, like audits. Like they were going hard. That's an intimidation.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't put that past the Democrats. They probably did that.
I believe that was proven as something that actually happened, and that is corrupt.
Yeah, it is corrupt. It's a use of power.
They targeted Republicans.
I've seen Democrat
audits,
quotes like, "Oh, now that we're in office, we're going to get them now," and it's the same type of childish that we always see. It happens every.
What do you think of all
4
these
years.
people saying that that we were nice and we put up with Obama, so why are you attacking Trump?
Oh, come on now.
Now, here's the thing.
Why do they forget?
I know.
They never were nice and put up with Obama.
No, he was a Kenyan socialist Muslim, and you'd see lots of. You could Google tons of images of dummies of Obama being hung from a tree while people are like, cheering, like at whatever protest. So it's like, come on, man. A lot of people didn't forget that.
Yeah.
And Fox was
They
always...
forgot it. They said everything.
There was
they
like
said.
tan suit gate where he wore a tan suit and Fox News was bashing him for...
Didn't look presidential
Yeah,
or something.
he didn't wear the pin enough. He put his hand on the wrong side of his heart.
He
when they
ran
just
down
flipped
Air
the
Force
photo.
One too fast and it looked disrespectful.
coffee where he saluted with a coffee.
Yeah,
Or
he had a
didn't
coffee
salute
company.
it at all, is what
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah, and honestly, every time the story that I always see is, here's the thing: as corrupt as he may or may not have been, the stories, Benghazi, Fast and the Furious, all that stuff. Yes, every president has scandals. Yes, he should pay for crimes. Every president should, but they never do. But the thing was, he at least spoke presidential. He at least just like I remember one thing that always sticks out was when he was going on for Hillary, and I don't like Hillary at all. He was going on for Hillary, and someone started booing him. Or they started, but second thing he said Hillary, somebody booed or something like that. And so everybody started booing the guy, and he said something like, "Hey, stop booing that gentleman. First of all, he's elderly. We got to respect our elders. Number two, he looks like to be wearing some sort of military uniform or clothing. So he may have served in the military. You got to respect your veterans. And number three, don't boo, go out and vote." Trump's had plenty of opportunities to at least sound presidential, And the only times I've ever heard him sound presidential or get through a speech
Is when it's written.
it's when it's written for him.
But he doesn't. I get the feeling he doesn't love to read through the speeches. It feels like he wants to break out, but he's
Because his ego.
staying in line. Yeah.
He's like, it should be my words. I'm awesome. He wants people to praise him. And
But
that's,
that was one reason why Bannon said, though, Bannon helped talk Trump into even running, because he said Trump could ad-lib a crowd and work him into a frenzy early on.
Oh,
in his
yeah.
career. In his very first speech, he nailed it.
see, here's the thing. If it was looking bad for Trump, I could see him going on Twitter, going in all caps and just saying something like, "Take to the streets." And that's when people die. That's when people die. Because there's always I was just kidding. Protest peacefully. Yeah, but you got a lot of people that follow you, that love you, that worship you, that will take to the streets. They'll get their guns and they will take to the streets. And some of it's going to get hate crimey, and some people will kill people because of the color of their skin.
I'm not sure if I've already said this in the podcast, but the time when sometimes people say something and you get a peek into their soul.
Yeah.
They accidentally say something that reveals who they are, basically. They're not, a lot of time when somebody's giving a speech or they're talking in public, they're projecting an image that is them, maybe amplified, or the good parts of them.
Yeah.
But sometimes
Or
they
the
say...
bad parts.
I do it.
Well, sometimes they accidentally say something that gets a little too far past the curtain that you're projecting. And I think one of those is when Trump said he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. That was too far into his brain, and you were like... That's who
And
you
what
were.
happened?
could.
Everybody
Yeah,
cheering.
yeah.
Everybody
And
in
he
the
could,
auditorium
yeah.
was cheering.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
when was this? When did he say that?
That was early on. I think that was while
He was president?
I don't know if he was running. He was just president, or he was.
No,
just
that was
running.
the first time he was running for office before he won.
Yeah, it was while he was running.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It would have disqualified someone else if they did it, but Trump got away with it.
Yeah.
But not to maybe we can balance this out, because John was looking up good things that Trump has done.
Yeah, it was hard
Oh,
to
yeah.
find him.
It's
What did you
done good
procure?
They get overshadowed.
So what I came across was some of the anti-government stuff he was doing. He was trying to take away political...
Deregulation.
There was some deregulations, but it was about political, making it a
Shorter
career.
terms, or
So let's take away the money they're
Career
making,
Congress
because
members.
career politicians is part of the problem.
yeah.
I saw that. There was a whole list of what he was doing to try... It was kind of anti-government. It was a little Ron Paul,
Yeah.
the way I looked at it, and I thought, that's decent what he's doing. Is he going to bring the country together? No, he's not, because no matter what, he can never come back from everything that he's done so far. When it seems with
too far
immigration,
gone.
yeah, he's too far gone when it comes to that. But is he able to bring the country out of an economic slide, which what we're in?
Yeah, probably.
I think so, and that's where I think, okay, so are we going to throw in? I liked Obama, but the thing I didn't like was he was a career politician. Biden is a career politician, and so are we putting back the same old thing, and we're going to use the same old recipe when it comes to left and right, and now we have a left and...
One thing I'm not sure about is I'm really curious over time, and only time will tell, but I'm not sure if Trump is creating a good foundation or if he's creating a bubble when things are going good. I can't really tell. I'm not sure if anybody really knows.
Obama took the country when it was hurting economically, and he brought it out of that. And then he passed the baton to a man who could make the country even better economically because of his business sense. And then the pandemic hit. It would be great if he was not president again. If the pandemic did not hit.
Yeah.
I mean, we would pass the baton on to somebody else who's going to try to balance what Trump did wrong.
Everything that happens is an opportunity, and Trump failed on the opportunity to show he can go through a pandemic or unite the country through protests. But
He did.
But he can still use this to keep himself as president. If he passed up that one opportunity, but he has the second opportunity to show he's the law and order president.
But the thing that drives me nuts is he won't take responsibility for when things go bad. Well, I guess no presidents ever do. But I don't know if this was a presidential quote. I forgot who said it, but they said you can't take credit. Actually, I think I got this from The Wire. A wise man once told me, don't take credit for the good if you're not prepared to take credit for the bad. And the whole Make America Great Again, we're 3 years into his presidency, almost at the end of his presidency. The economy's starting to come back, but everybody's dying, which isn't 100% his fault, obviously. He showed no real leadership during the beginning of this crisis.
He does all he can to not be seen wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Which is kind of strange. Everyone else has been seen and photographed wearing a mask.
He's willing to kill people over the economy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if there's no economy, we're all dead anyways. So it's kind of like a...
Well, and it seems like, too, like Trump appeals to some people. And if he appeals to you, you see him as certain things, like maybe a businessman or someone sacrificing their fortune to help America, or, you know, all these things. A patriot. If you don't like him, you kind of see him as a con man, a fake or phony.
Or if you watch him on the news with your TV off mute, you can like see a lot of con man type behavior.
Mannerisms.
Because there's evidence on both sides. On one hand, he does have some billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, he has a lot of lawsuits. Almost a record amount of lawsuits.
So
I think if you have some billions of dollars,
he does
it's
it to tie
common
people
you're
up.
going to have lawsuits.
He has how many bankruptcies and...
What it says, like 5 or
Yeah,
something?
he really does not. I don't think he really is a great businessman.
I think he's a great businessman.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen some
Dude,
documentaries.
I think he
that make me
has a
question it.
resiliency, and he has determination more than most people.
If he hadn't become president, because everyone's like, oh, well, he forfeited his salary. That's $400,000 a year. Do you know how much he's making off the taxpayers every time Secret Service has to check into Mar-a-Lago or any of the other resorts? It's like $1 million. It's like $700 million. I think it's cost.
Well,
the
yeah,
taxpayers.
he does these weird things, and
he'll make out of state dignitaries stay at his resorts or hotels because that's where he's going to be at.
he runs rallies and he won't pay the bill.
Yeah,
it's like make me.
If he's
That's
racked
kinda
up
what he does.
$700 million just on his golf trips, and all that money is going back into his pocket, how is that not profiting off the presidency? $400,000 compared to $700 million.
And what's weird to me is this blows my mind and actually blows a lot of his cover. Is 70% of his products are not made in America.
Yeah,
like he has he has shirts and he has
no one cares.
Make America Great caps that are made in China. It says made in China in the Make America Great cap. And he bashes other companies for outsourcing. He's just shameless. He can't lose $1 on his hats.
Oh, here's what I love. People are like, if you don't like America, then get out. I won't take anybody speaking disrespectfully about my country. That's all he does. Baltimore, you're a shithole. California, rake your forest. What the hell's wrong with you? If you guys knew how to be firefighter, all he does is rip on our entire country.
We need an episode on just his tweets.
Just his tweets.
Yeah, he just told South or North Dakota to not let Californians in because we're full of it over here, but they're doing a good job over there.
And aren't their numbers like super high right now?
Yeah,
bro.
and there's like five states between us. It's not like we're bordered. He says they need to.
Why have
block
we
us
not
at the border.
suspended
I
travel?
wouldn't let me.
I don't
in.
know that we're trying in droves to go.
If
to
every
the Dakotas.
state is trying to get their own state under control because he won't take leadership and try to just do like a government mandate, and everyone's trying on their own to do whatever they can to keep their state under control, why is travel even being allowed? If everyone's under control, New York's on fire, why is it someone can jump on a plane and come to New Mexico or something? It doesn't make sense to me. The problem was it wasn't taken seriously enough the first round. It was, but
Yeah.
a lot of people, it wasn't.
People got restless.
They got
and-
restless, and I'm not. There's always that. Oh, I want to go to the hairdresser argument, and that's stupid. But there are a lot of people who are like,
Well-
I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to lose my business. I'm going to lose everything I worked for my entire life. And I get that argument at least.
And it's been tough with kids. You have to keep your kids entertained, and they're full of energy, and they can't leave the house. That's tough.
Oh yeah,
But
I could imagine. Yeah,
it's tougher when you have to do it again and again and again, and you have to homeschool them again and again.
yeah.
So I found a list of some of the things that Trump has done that's positive or is trying to. So that's part of the problem. He's trying to do it. It's not necessarily passed, but
Okay.
number one, no tenure,
For Congress, like
Right.
no, yeah, I agree with that.
no pension.
I
collects
think
a
they should have
salary
a
while
pension.
in office.
If they give up any,
No, so they shouldn't have a pension because it shouldn't be a career, is what he's trying to say.
well, it should be a normal. It should be a public service salary and pension. Because if you're giving up a life in the private sector where you could retire, I don't want to see my congressman at Walmart greeting people.
Yeah, but we need term
I don't get me wrong;
limits.
it's a decent salary, and it'll never
So-
be that. But still, they deserve at least a pension. But there definitely needs to be term limits. Get in, do what you got to do, get
Okay.
out.
So that's number one. No more perks go with when you're out of office. You don't receive pension.
Okay.
Congress, past, present, and future, now participates in Social Security. Now, these haven't been passed. It hasn't been proven that they've been passed. But these are things he's proposing in the Congressional Reform Act of 2017. So we're in 2020. I don't know if that matters.
Is this
but-
what he does in presidential time? I'm actually
Number
impressed.
3, Congress must purchase their own retirement plan, just as all Americans do. Number 4, Congress will no longer vote themselves a pay raise.
They never fail to vote in a pay raise for themselves.
Which
I mean,
is
who
kinda-
wouldn't?
Yeah,
But
for sure.
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
single
that- I
time
mean,
it
that's
passes.
that's something so wrong about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that should be.
Well, and there used to be congressional credit cards that they used to run the shit out of.
Wow, that's crazy.
I think there should be a group of people, like a committee, that make those decisions, like
Absolutely.
of accountants. And,
Yeah.
And we should call them Congress.
and they also need to be
Congress
evaluated during their
2.0.
time in
Yeah,
Congress.
it's
so-
kind of like the police evaluating themselves.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the Congress
exactly.
evaluating themselves. They always get an A.
yeah.
Here's an interesting
A for the day. Let's go on vacation.
Number 5,
I wanna.
Congress loses their current healthcare system and participates in the same healthcare system as the American people. of
Well,
course.
I believe in socialized medicine, so
You know what? I'm on board with that.
Communist.
Number 6, Congress must equal. You commie.
It's a
Commie.
democratic communist.
I'm a
Commie
bleeding heart
bastard.
liberal commie.
You ain't trying to give healthcare to everybody.
if
Fuck
it
that.
can be done in other countries that are first world countries, then it can be done in ours if we claim to be the greatest.
Ja, Sweden.
We're the only one that doesn't actually.
Yeah, and we claim to be the greatest, and that's only for profit.
It's
I
too
saw-
hard for us.
I-
The greatest. It's too hard.
it's
I
only
s-
for profit. That's the only reason why.
I saw something before talking about how our health benefits are attached to our jobs.
Yeah.
And that does not allow for people to either change jobs or try something new because they're afraid that they will lose all their benefits and may not get them back, and now their kids don't have insurance, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And so that kind of hampers the American spirit, maybe, right, to do something else in your
To
life.
be entrepreneurial, to change jobs.
Yeah.
So-
I
So,
put a-
so,
put a
that-
huge
so we
hiccup in
definitely,
my-
I say we definitely need reform. I'm not saying that I'm for socialized medicine because there could be some drawbacks, I'm sure, but maybe
Plenty.
something of a hybrid or something that would be more beneficial on both sides.
That's right. It should be something met in the middle.
Well, people think that socialized medicine means that there's no competition, but in other countries they actually compete for the contracts. They compete for prices, so the prices are lower. They actually have more competition in their socialized medicine than we do in our whatever it is that we have.
Yeah.
We have very little competition. That's what the pharma works together to not give us good prices.
Now, see, here's where the argument of free college comes in. Because from what I understood, now, when you hear free college, you think that's absurd, right?
Or you would call it.
But if it's for the best and brightest of our country,
Damn, that's dirty.
then they could, then one day they'll repay back society.
Yeah,
If you
it's
have
true.
a bright kid who can't afford medical school and now you want to bring
Yeah.
socialized medicine debate to the table, we're going to need more doctors. We're going to need more nurses.
Yeah.
Make it an incentive to get into these careers.
So here we go. We bring the argument that IQ should give you, let's say, more value when it comes to currency. So you take some kids that have a high IQ, but they don't have the ability to pay for their college. You put them through, and then the lower kids the kids with less IQ, does that give them less value? No. But it gives them a different job, one that they can.
Yeah, because there's different IQs that there's one type of IQ that we refer to as IQ, but there's artistic IQ, there's street smart IQ.
Yeah.
We gotta put people where their IQs are at.
You know what? But see, I
Dang,
know a guy
but
that's
when you say that though, that sounds kind of like, I don't want to say fascist.
Well, no, it doesn't. No, it's not like you have
We're gonna
to.
put you where your IQ is. You'll work in the bowling alley from here on.
Separate the nuts and the bolts.
you're qualified to disinfectant shoes.
No, you just get discounts in those type of schooling if your IQ opens up those doors.
Okay.
But we don't have to do that if you're not interested in it.
I don't
do
see-
something that you can pay for your own to.
But bring the debate to the
But
table.
wait a second.
Stop
If
letting
you're-
lobbyists
if you-
make the decisions for the people.
But if you're that bright kid that can go through medical school and change the world,
Yeah.
wouldn't you get like a scholarship or
No,
something?
dude, you
Not
would
all the
say
time.
you would pick cook. I'll be a cook.
I know a guy who's borderline genius, and he's a janitor at a college.
Yeah.
And like sometimes he'll solve equations on the wall.
I've seen this
But
movie.
I'm sorry, no, sorry.
How
That's
do
Good
you-
Will Hunting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, how
I
do
don't
you
know
like
that guy.
them apples?
It's not your fault.
It's just a waste
It's
of
not your
talent.
fault.
I miss
but,
Robin
but,
Williams.
but here's
Yeah.
okay. So that brings up another question that I have. When I was a youngster,
Steve's questions.
when I was a youngster, I had no freaking clue what I wanted to do with my life.
Right? Like every
still
other
don't.
youngster.
Yeah, and so some people are late bloomers. What do you do with them? I mean, you got to get them a job somewhere so they can be self-sufficient and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
but
you
maybe
take 'em
somewhere
out.
along the line they find.
But what
their
if general
passion.
ed is free?
General ed is free, public health system. Oh, you're talking about
In
past-
college?
Oh, into college?
Yeah, so
Should be.
so general ed is free, and
Should be.
and that helps you figure out
And what-
narrow
what-
things down.
And what about all
maybe?
what about all this online education? There's so many companies online that provide quality education. You can learn to do anything for not very much.
Yeah, but a lot of the schools, they don't get you jobs.
You can a la carte your.
Well, pull yourself up. If
No,
you
I'm
get-
saying like they'll tell you. A lot of the schools are they're
They
like
have job placement, but
they're
they
like
don't.
No, but
it's
you
like,
can
it's like
go. You can
predatory
go,
lending.
you can go to like companies like the Khan Academy or Udemy, and you can learn programming skills. Or
Yeah.
You can learn whatever.
You've seen those commercials, right?
I've-
Is that where you've seen them?
No.
Okay.
I just heard about it.
But here's the
But-
thing, though. A lot of those schools, they lie in their advertisement.
And they don't have job placement.
Actually, Betsy DeVos.
I'm not talking about paying for like a freaking certification and expect to get a job. I'm saying if you want to learn something, you can do it for
Oh,
a
yeah.
relatively low cost.
So, hold on.
Sometimes free.
Hold on.
And you can find a job.
Do
or
they
a
have
career.
hooker schools? And shouldn't they? And they should be free.
What's the male version? Speaking of
They might.
trade schools, we have a sponsor that is a trade school that you might be interested in, that you can get a very good lifelong career in.
Are you planning for the future? Are you sitting at home right now watching one of our commercials at 3 in the morning on a Tuesday? Of course you are. You're an alcoholic piece of shit. But act now, and one of our operators can assist you in exploring the possibility of amusement park ride operators. Yes, here at Cal Weaver's Amusement Park Ride Operator and Carnival Game Assistant, you can learn all the secret ins and outs of the amusement park industry. Work your way up to mascot or corn dog vendor. The sky's the limit. Ask one of our many happy former students who was able to receive work just 3 to 4 months after completing his classes. Yeah, job's all right. I'm working with the Union Brotherhood, local number 428. They're okay. It's a good group of guys. Some good stuff happening. A lot of good single moms out here. I just keep doing what I'm doing. I just working on my music career. And so Cal Weavers, we will teach you hand signals, safety protocols, and how to speak so fast that nobody will understand what you're saying.
Excuse me, man. The time when you come to come to start from the
We'll even teach you the exit greetings.
Folks, please make sure you keep your hands up when you exit and enjoy the rest of your day over the folks in the back.
At Cal Weavers, you too can learn all the secrets of the pros. Call now.
Operators are standing by.
But going back, people don't know what the hell they want to do at that age. Some people. Some
Right.
people know from the moment they can pick up a pencil,
Nobody
they
knows what
want
they
to
want
draw.
to do. I still don't know half of the things that are out there that you can do because I wasn't educated on what you can do.
And not
like,
only-
what's an electrical engineer? I always thought this motherfucker drives an electric train.
No, they make money.
Yeah, they make chips.
No, they make chips, not money.
We had
Anyway,
we had Bolo on the Bolo, and he's an electric. And this guy's balling out of control. He's got the Camaro, and these guys make good money. I get
Elevator
it.
repairman.
What does he do?
That's
Yeah.
Good money. It's good
That's
money.
it. It's
There's
make
not a lot of
money.
people that can do it, so it pays really well.
And they're doing
It's like
something.
trade school well, not like stocks well.
They're doing a thing that most of us out there don't know exist.
This is what I'm saying. We need to mentor our youth more in what is out there. You know, I mean, I know there are tests that can show you what your strengths
Strengths are,
are,
aptitude
et
tests.
cetera, but you have to like pound it into kids because
Ew.
a lot
Well,
of,
they should try
not
occupations
Catholic.
out. They should intern places.
Well, you know
They
what's
should
what's funny is my son
assist.
he bombed algebra last year. His first year of high school.
What grade is he in?
Freshman, first year.
Okay.
So he bombed algebra. A lot of it's Common Core. Even in junior high, I couldn't figure out a lot of the stuff that I used to know how to do because it's Common Core. They changed it up. It's stupid.
no, my
Whoa,
kids'
whoa,
school
whoa!
went
So-
back
What's
to
Common
regular
Core?
math.
Because
It's-
I seen this is being defunded.
It's like
Department of
thank
Education.
God. It's
Oh,
a
tons
super
of-
confusing way to do the math that they've been teaching one way to do for centuries, basically.
So it's the
You know
wrong
how you've
way
been
to
doing
teach
long
math.
division and multiplication? They did this different way, but it's like 50,000 steps. It's
Two
ridiculous.
plus two equals a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I don't, whatever you
Yeah.
want. Whatever you want it to be.
I love
But the
cheeseburgers.
thing is, so he's doing summer school right now, and now the class that he's doing, I was doing some of his homework with him over the weekend. It was teaching them stuff about mortgages, financial responsibility, and I'm like, dude, this is awesome. They're finally teaching you life skills, and because they didn't teach it when I was in school. Whatever's going on right now, at least they're teaching. At least at his school, some good life skills, which they need to.
They kind of did, but you didn't really go.
No, actually, high school was kind of a blur.
Exactly.
But yeah, but they need to bring back shop. They need to bring back all that stuff and teach some of these things because it's a lot more useful than algebra. The only people who use algebra are mathematicians and algebra teachers.
Like welding.
So why are there only like 4 or 5 subjects in school when there's 10 million subjects out there to learn about?
Well, you need like a life studies
There's
class
stuff there's not
Okay.
degrees
to
for.
teach you what to expect when you become an adult.
We were talking about before the podcast is voice acting. There's not a school for that. I mean, I guess there's acting classes.
Yeah, actually, I guarantee you that if you Google it, you'll find a voice acting school. There's probably one in
There's a
Hollywood.
school out there, but it isn't known that that's actually a choice.
A
Somebody
lot of
can
people
make.
don't know that's a job.
Right now, we're in the technology and information age. I mean, people are making their own careers out of stuff that we would have never thought of before, and they're being successful at it. I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to be like, what was it, Roger Siskel and Ebert?
No, Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, that one. So, you know, I wanted to be
Roger
a film
Stone.
critic because I love movies.
So did I.
Yeah, me and Danny. It seemed like such a hard thing to get into and do. Don't know where
You
to
got
start.
to have
blah,
like a
blah.
journalism major or a
Yeah.
film major. You actually have to like put in time and work.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
anything.
And we're kind of lazy, but
It's like
there
movies.
are people that have made their own critic company or whatever. You know, they've done it on their own. Just launched a website or started a podcast or some crap like
People are
that.
gonna find their way. Yeah, that's
But now
it.
there's more choices. There's more ways to make an income, make a living.
many more. The
Yeah,
internet
I work
opened
with a
up.
bunch of guys half my age, and a lot of them buy stocks. Like I'll hear them on,
Yeah.
on the team chest, like, "Hey man, how's your stock doing over here?" I'm like, "What?"
Well, even like YouTuber.
Like, I can't finance a cheeseburger.
YouTube started when? Like, can somebody look it up?
2008, 2009.
2008-ish, yeah.
It was right around the time of
And now
smartphones.
that's an occupation. There's people with There's young people with
Kids,
Lamborghinis.
annoying
yeah.
kids,
Yes.
yeah, just okay.
Yeah, I seen one pull up.
Why
I'm
can't
just
that
a
be
hater.
my kid?
Hi guys,
Okay, here's
hi guys, just
here's,
click a link.
here's the ultimate thing that got me. One time, my brother John over here, he mentioned something about unboxing, and I thought it was just some sort of porn fetish or something that he was into, or his kid
People
was
make
into.
love in a boxing gym. Yeah, I get
And I
it.
was just like, "What the hell is that?" And he told me what it was.
Lingerie
It was
made of
somebody just opening up new toys
That's all it is.
and talking about the toys, playing with them, whatever,
Testing the product.
giving their
People are
thoughts.
getting rich off that.
Little kids.
And
Yeah.
and there's
Opening
a,
I don't
there's a-
remember- I don't
there's a
remember the
kid-
name.
There's a kid who's like 11 or
Yeah.
whatever, 9. And he's making like over $10 million a year. I'm like, are you
He
kidding
went
me?
from unboxing toys in Toys R Us to having his own toys in Walmart of himself.
When I was a kid, watching yourself like opening presents on Christmas was boring after a while, and apparently now it's a money-making business. A little kid
to
has
watch other people do it.
a little like 10-year-old kid has a better stock portfolio than I do.
Totally.
And,
I don't
all
have
it
a
is
stock portfolio.
branding and marketing. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
So branding and marketing is a giant.
Oh yeah, it's a huge industry, and people who figure it out can be extremely successful, and that's great. You know, I'm jealous, but that's great. but this is what I'm saying though, is that everybody needs to have people in their lives to help them and guide them to find what it is that they want to do and be able to pursue it. There are tons of resources, and again, being in the information age, we have the internet that you can find anything and go from there. We have to be responsible for our youth.
So some of the most funded programs should be anything that deals with the brain.
You know, back to YouTube. At the end of the day, Jake and Logan Paul are both pieces of shit.
I believe
That's
So
all I
I
have to say
hear.
about that.
I don't know them that well, but that's what I hear.
Anytime I hear somebody influencing and all that, it always trips me out. If you're a pretty girl,
Yeah,
at
influencers.
least you have some value.
If
Here's
those,
a job.
if those are jobs that didn't exist 10 years ago, what jobs are going to exist in the next
about-
10 years that we have no name for?
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
know, but when
New
I see a
platforms.
40-year-old dude lip syncing to TikTok, I'm
Twitch
like,
streamer.
Get you
dude,
hot.
you're a grown ass man.
Yeah, TikTok.
You're a
They'll be
grown-ass
TikTokers.
man.
That'll be a job.
What are you doing, TikTok?
I don't even like talking to most people. I like to be in the corner. And
Here's
like,
one
you know,
that didn't exist. Just being hot on Instagram.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a thing now.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could just be.
But at least
hot
I could
on
see
Instagram.
that. It's no
Hey, I can
different
get
than opening up
behind
a Maxim magazine. You know, it makes money.
Could you get
Sex will
behind
always
that
sell.
if it had a Richard Nixon tattoo on his back? I mean, his back.
Speaking of which,
Especially
what do you
then.
think about the government trying to get ban TikTok from America?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
Because
crazy talk.
I don't
it's
know.
Chinese spyware. Apparently, the
if
Chinese
it's-
government is spying on everything we say and do through TikTok.
That's new
So I
territory.
hear.
I don't know how you control that. I don't know. That's new territory. I
No,
don't
dude,
know.
let them spy. Everybody needs to spy.
But America loves freedom.
China, yeah, but
But
freedom
try-
is
try
to
turn off the
spy.
TikTok.
and it's not like we don't spy on every other country in the
I
We
whole
need
world.
to spy. They need to spy. We need to spy on the cops. We need to spy
How
on
much
the
are they learning from
politicians. We need to
TikTokers,
spy
though?
on the barbers.
Yeah. So,
They already
learn a
are
lot.
shameless.
yeah, basically, like, so what do we know about the Americans? They're morons. They're absolute
Yeah.
morons. They like to lip sync and dance around, and yeah,
There was a German.
have
and
all
we're
the
very
lip sync
bored.
in
We're
China.
extremely bored. We're so bored.
There was a
yeah.
German scientist that was obsessed with TikTok, and he was kidnapping people, putting them in his basement. You heard about this?
No.
It's a real story. It happened yesterday.
Oh, was he sewing their asses to their mouths?
No, he was
Okay.
he
I think
he was
that's the movie
making
I
them
saw.
TikTok, and if they didn't, he would torture them and tell them, "We have ways of making you talk."
You're such a always got to
real.
be a terrible punchline to this at some point.
We have ways of making you talk.
TikTok.
TikTok, TikTok.
Okay,
All
so
right.
yeah, I was picturing the human centipede, but I was way off.
I was picturing it too.
That would have been a good.
Has
TikTok,
anyone seen
though.
that movie? I still haven't seen that movie.
I haven't
No,
seen the
I
I
movie.
think
You know,
I've seen
it's-
part of it.
It's
Don't
just,
need to.
Yeah, it's just too disturbing, right? You
Yeah,
just
I
know
knew
everything
the-
about
I
it.
saw
know
the
the
poster and I
premise.
was like, I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
Once you hear the plot, you're like, okay.
We're talking about what's the name of the movie again?
Human centipede.
Human
You
Centipede,
called
right?
it caterpillar.
Yeah. and,
Caterpillar
and so
substance.
everybody had to eat everybody's shit. What about the Japanese, bro? They made a meat that you can eat that is made out of human feces.
This
But
is
wait,
true, right?
hold on.
You're
This
not
is
just
true.
Okay.
It's an expensive meat, very rare. They've taken the meat or the feces, they made it not only nutritional, but it tastes good like beef. Have you heard about this?
Is it nutritious?
Yes, absolutely.
Is
It's
it
good for
processed
you.
like crazy? Like the Beyond
well,
Burger?
I think so. It has to be. It's shit.
Is there
so-
peanuts in the burgers?
I'm sure there's a
I mean,
nutty flavor
corn.
to it. Nutty flavor. I don't know. I don't know if Anthony Bourdain tried it before.
Try our Santa Fe burger.
Yeah,
Corn
right.
and chili peppers.
And
This is
that,
student
can,
gross. Not even sorry. This is so disgusting.
that can actually bring us to our next sponsors.
So we're taking a sponsor break. We wanted to give a plug to our sponsors. Without them, none of this is possible. One of our newest sponsors that we're proud to plug is 3D printed meat. 3dmeat.com. Check them out. It's not released to the public, but they gave us some 3D printers, so we've been trying it out. It works really well. What do you guys think of it so far?
Love it. The teriyaki. Oh my god.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I had a beef tenderloin with the family over the weekend. Wasn't bad. Yeah.
You stimulate the meat as much as you want for it to be as tender as a baby lamb or as tough as an aged bull.
It's definitely guilt-free meat. It's like a computer printer, and you just, before you know it, you have some ribs or whatever.
And you know, there's just a little bit of an ammonia aftertaste, but for the most part, there's no difference other than that you can't tell.
I tried almost every setting, but I didn't try the human meat. I just didn't know if that was what I wanted to eat. You know?
What's great about it is whatever you put in there, it replicates that type of meat. So, you know, you have to source it somehow.
Baby.
The shawarma is actually really good. Try the shawarma next time.
Shawarma.
Yeah, chicken, veal, beef, pork, fish, anything you want, really.
Portuguese sausage.
See, I was concerned it wouldn't run off my Windows XP because of how old my computer is, but sure enough.
And Mac compatible as well.
And Mac compatible.
Everything's Mac compatible.
We're going to go into the latest on what's her name again?
Ghislaine.
Jiz what?
Jizz what?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh, dude, that's a dope name for a rapper, bro.
I know,
Jizz
right?
what?
Jizz.
Dude, that's my rapper name.
So apparently she's frantically trying to get bail. She's
Who
offered,
is?
Ghislaine
Jizz
Maxwell.
what?
She offered $5 million. She's ready to talk to the FBI, so anyone in power that was friends with Jeff Epstein really needs to be freaking out right now. But she wants out. She's saying she hasn't spoken to Jeffrey Epstein in 10 years.
But you know, if she
I
gets
can't
out,
believe
she's going to get kidnapped, she's going to get killed, she's going to get hung, she's going to get...
Wait, didn't we take bets on her death? Same
Yeah.
girl?
I called
Yeah, that
COVID,
one.
yeah.
I called old age, so
You think she'll make it?
yeah, that's
That means a lot of people are going down. Possibly the president. Definitely Clinton. I mean, the documentary I watched on Netflix, there were several witnesses at the island. They were like, yeah, like one guy, he said he saw...
Not Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island, yeah. He said he saw...
It's just what island?
This is so gross. But
Just
he
what?
said he saw Bill Clinton, and he was rubbing up against a girl in a bikini by the pool and, like, filling her up. If there's truth to that,
call
which
it
you know it
Epstein's
is.
Island.
So this is rumor. I don't know if this is rumor or this is real.
And he
but-
said the girl looked like 16.
I don't know if this is real or if this is rumor, but in his house he had paintings, and I know some were supposedly odd. He had a picture of Bill Clinton in a dress in his foyer.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
It was a blue dress.
Can we
I've heard
find
that.
that?
Yeah,
Picture of-
you can image search it. We'll put it up on if there's a video version of this. And also, too, supposedly there was a picture of, and I don't know if this one was true. They didn't say that. I haven't had this one verified at all. I just saw it in like a random news source. They had a picture of Bush with 2 paper airplanes and a Jenga.
Senior or junior?
W.
W.
George W.
Oh,
We'll
wow.
look it up.
Yeah, there it is.
So, names of Epstein's Island. It was Little St. James, Island
That's what it
of
was called.
Sin,
Little St. James, yeah.
Pedophile Island,
That's the one I heard the most.
and Orgy Island.
I heard F Island.
All of this is kind of a
Violent.
Filing.
Well, and I wanted to mention too is people think that so certain groups like Q and the right and the far right and the alt right and the right they want to associate Pizzagate and all that with the left and with there it is.
There's Clinton in
That's
his
the
blue
Clinton in the
dress. Did you see it,
wow.
Steve?
Sorry, that distracted me.
Sorry.
But
Looks
but
Photoshopped.
Trump still had ties to Epstein. It's Trump's circle. Trump put all his friends in, and some of his friends are friends with Epstein or roundaboutly associated with Epstein. It's a small group.
That's what
it's
we're
these
gonna
rich
talk about.
people. It's friends, and
This has all been debunked, right?
absolutely true.
Alex Acosta.
Alex Acosta was the judge that let Epstein off. Acosta could have ended this all.
Not a
in
judge. He was
in
like,
2005.
Oh yeah.
He was like the state attorney or
No,
something.
he got
like
put
that.
in as I
No,
guess he was the state attorney.
But after that happened,
but
like-
he approved or gave.
This was
Epstein
7
immunity.
years. This was 7 years before Trump. He basically gave him Epstein the lifetime of a deal. It was like 18 months when he should have gone away for like 25 years.
And he wasn't supposed to be flying, and he was flying, and he gave
Yeah,
him
he was
immunity.
breaking-
He couldn't be retried for what was going on. So basically, he kept this nightmare going for another 15 years. He
Yeah,
allowed
like
it.
9-10 years.
He actually had to step down because when Epstein got arrested,
The second time.
but Trump had already put him in as was labor secretary.
Yeah.
And then William Barr, this one's a little less.
He seems to be about it. At least publicly, he's saying we're not going to let anything happen to Ghislaine Maxwell. We're working with it. Like he seems like he wants answers, but who
Barr
knows?
recused himself of one thing, and other things he's letting himself be in control of.
Yeah.
He had to recuse himself of part of it. There was like an internal and an external investigation. and one of those he's recused himself of because he worked at the law firm that
got Jeffrey Epstein off.
defended Epstein.
Yeah.
And so we don't know actually. I don't know that we've gone into it, or it can be proven that he had anything to do with it or didn't have something to do with it, because they have, lawyers help each other with cases. They do research for each other.
There's a good chance he had nothing to do with the case at all. Yeah,
there's a chance he had.
I don't know if it's good or bad.
There's a chance he had nothing to do with it.
Who knows?
Well, not nothing, because he works at the law firm. Obviously, that's a shady law firm though, getting Epstein off.
Well, if it's a defense,
but they have to.
Depends on how
Yeah,
they
if
got
you're a
him
defense
off.
attorney, that's what you do.
But you're not a state defense attorney. You're an attorney that
Personal,
I mean,
private.
their purpose is to get criminals off, rich criminals.
Do Epstein and Trump have a history?
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah, for years. There's a quote by Trump. I think it was Vanity Fair or something.
Calling him a good man.
2000.
They've been friends
or
for
something like that.
15 years.
He's like, yeah, Jeffrey.
He
and
said
I-
we've been friends for 15 years.
Now,
Have they
what-
ever partied?
Oh, all the time. Yes,
Yeah,
they
there's-
partied. There's
They
lots
threw a
of
party where they were the only two
Actually-
male members of the party.
What?
Fox
Get outta
News.
here.
Fox News just got a lot of crap because they were talking about Ghislaine Maxwell's story, and they were shooting up pictures like B-roll footage or camera footage,
Be real.
and
Dude,
They-
don't
they-
slander
Don't
the
drag
man.
me real into this.
they cropped Trump out
Don't
of
tell
one,
me Sendog was in it.
they cropped Trump out of one of the photos, so he wasn't
Yeah,
involved.
everyone
in the
was
story.
in it. Even Melania was in it.
Everybody, but they cropped Trump out of one. The only time that he was in it, they cropped him
Nice.
out. It was super funny.
Of course.
So yeah, they hung out together. He said, "I'm a good friend with Jeffrey Epstein. He likes girls. Some of them are a little bit on the younger side." That was his quote for article in the magazine. And I don't know if he ever went to that island though. But a lot of
Yeah, it hasn't been proven that he's been to the island or that he's on any
He
of the
may not
records.
have, to be honest.
He is in the book. Supposedly he's in the black book, but a lot of people are.
I think he did
They
something.
had business relations, but supposedly one of the things that broke up their man crush was
It was a business relation to the
yeah,
Wet
they had
Sour.
their business relation went bad, and also Epstein was trying to.
It was a
um,
property.
He was
that they
trying to
both wanted
hire
buy.
Trump's employees
Yeah.
from his hotel, so he
Hire
wasn't
him
allowed in the
for
hotel
what?
anymore.
What do you mean?
Who
Like
knows?
just kind of take yeah. We
Just
he
don't know.
Kidnap
well no
him?
he was hiring one of the girls, one of the main witnesses. Worked at Trump's Mar-a-Lago. That's where Jeffrey Epstein met her.
And Trump was kind of mad because it's like, don't fuck with the help.
Well, that's funny.
Yeah.
A lot of the right arguments, like, see, Clinton's going to go down. I'm like, well, possibly Trump too. And they always say, no, Trump stopped being friends with Jeff Epstein because of all the girl stuff. Like, okay, well, number one, here's two things that's wrong with your argument. You're wrong because they actually had a falling out of a real estate deal in Florida in the early 2000s. They both wanted this piece of property, and they kind of fought dirty against each other to get it, and that's what dissolved their friendship. And number two, if he did know about the girls, why didn't he come forward and tell anybody? That means he's okay with pedophilia.
and the same people that are defending Trump against all this are tying other people in way more loosely to Epstein, like Gates. Gates was in a meeting with Epstein and 10 other billionaires. They'll use that connection to say, see, Trump has way more association with Epstein, but
Yeah.
no, he's all
A
good.
lot of people got to remember he was a wealthy businessman, so he
Yeah.
did meet with lots of people. So
Probably
everybody
paid his way into
a lot of people are in
things.
pictures. It doesn't mean that they were guilty, but I'd be looking at the people that hung out with them all the time. Trump,
Yeah.
Clinton, Dershowitz.
One meeting doesn't mean anything, but more
yeah,
than
one,
that.
one girl said Dershowitz raped her, and he says, if you don't know who that is, it's Alan Dershowitz. He's a well-respected defense lawyer. He worked for OJ. He was on that team, and a couple other really bad people.
Wait, did you watch the Jeffrey Epstein doc?
Yeah.
Was
That's
it
pretty
good?
Crazy.
It's
It was
pretty good, but it's hard to watch. It's disturbing.
Where do you find it?
Netflix.
Okay.
But the thing is, the comments, whenever I see stupid comments, it's like, well, it seemed like the girl kept going back for money. It's like, dingus. Number one, a lot of these girls came from nothing. Number two, who's the adult in the situation?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
high
They're being
school.
manipulated.
These are high school girls who are feeling
Who are
mature,
troubled.
who are getting paid. They're already exactly. A lot of them are troubled or come from troubled past. Who's the adult? You
So
know?
what's going on with that island now? It's just a regular island
It's probably seized
I
by
don't
the
know.
government.
Yeah, it's probably seized by the government.
and
But-
still being used for what it was being used for. Anyways,
George Soros bought it.
So that brings us again to our next sponsor who makes all this possible. We're very grateful for our sponsors, so support them all. And we're going to end this one on Ohana Barbershop.
thanks for listening to us again. We have Danny the Man,
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
and then we got Stevie the Turtle, aka Turtle,
Thank you very much. Signing out.
Turtle.
Johnny Peace, and Dave the
Oh,
Lord
wait.
and Savior.
Before we go, it's Dave's birthday.
That's
Almost
right.
forgot. Happy birthday,
Happy
Dave.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Dave.
How old are you now?
Yeah, you don't know.
21 times 2 plus 1.
Okay.
Sounds
So
about
that's we leaving you with some homework. 21 times 2 plus 1.
Don't use Common Core.
Wait, where's my paper?
Just
Let me get my
remember,
scratch paper.
click subscribe.
Yeah,
so-
and let us know what you think in the comments if you have that option.
right? The Dirt Podcast.
The altar, she supposed, and on it was Hector.
Is the throne empty? Is the king dead? The empire unpossessed?
Off with his head.
You got me going in circles.